Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we're talking about becoming a reader and where you should start if you're really looking to become a reader. So this is my Kindle. I'm really just using it as, to preserve some sense of mystery to this video. But anyway, there's a couple of things that starting off a new hobby you should really look for. The main thing is you just need a win under your belt. And when it comes to reading, there's no sweeter win than finishing a book. So let's make that book really short, the first one that you pick, so that it's a banger right out of the front gates, and then off you go, right? The next thing that I would want, the books that you choose initially when you're really trying to get into the hobby of reading, is that book has to be gripping. It has to have you in a chokehold so that you you literally can't put the book down, but also you don't want to put the book down. You're probably constantly thinking about picking it up, what the story's doing, all that stuff. So I want those feelings for you initially, so that as you go and start picking your own books down the line, you know what to look for. Any of the books that you read should be in addition to who you already are. No hobby is worth changing yourself for, so deep down, ask what you're looking for in a book. More often than not, I have found people who do like to read, they like to read books on topics that they're already interested in, So if you're a big video gamer, we'll talk about that down the road with some of my recommendations. Or if you really like rom-coms, we'll get there. Easy access. This is a really random tip, but it worked a lot for me. So for example, I do like my Kindle and I'm currently enjoying Jade Legacy, but more on that in a different video. This Kindle has made it so easy and accessible for me to read multiple books at the same time. It's enabled me to read at nighttime, in bed, in the dark. It doesn't matter. And it's so light and so easy to carry around that I don't think I'd be able to read as much as I do without it. Bonus points if it is funny, the book, because again, it just makes it gripping and it makes you want to go back to it. You associate all these positive things with it. And ultimately, read what you want, okay? Like, people are going to recommend you things like me in this video, but if it doesn't vibe with you, pick the stuff that vibes with you. So read whatever works for you, okay? So let's move on to some of the actual recommendations that I have. Yeah? Okay, sounds like a plan. So first off, we're starting off with thriller in the mystery section. You already saw it. I'm recommending The Silent Patient. This book, I believe, is an international bestseller. It was the debut novel by Alex Michaelides, but basically it is a whodunit, and you're kind of following this detective as he tries to solve this mystery. The mystery is kind of complicated by the perpetrator being in a loony bin, and she's just has not talked. She after the crime was committed, she was found at the scene and she has not uttered a word at all. And this has been going on for years. So that's the whole enticing thing and what grips you. It's a very short read. I tend to use thrillers and mystery novels a lot, especially when I'm in a slump. This one got me out of a really bad one. So anyway, there's The Silent Patient. The next one on my list is None of This Is True. This is a mystery of sorts. I believe there's a murder involved in it, but I forget now. Anyway, it's Lisa Jewell, and my God, she does a great job of just gripping you. You're just constantly on the edge of your seat, just wondering what's going to happen next. What are the characters going to do next? And every plot twist that comes at you is just amazing, and like, you're so shocked and bewildered every time. So it's a good time is basically where I'm going with this. And then this was my personal really enjoyable thriller, In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. It's not particularly I don't know, swoon worthy, but it does the job. It's about these guys who come back for a reunion, and back when they graduated, one of their classmates died unexpectedly, and of course it's suspected murder, but no one knows who did it. And so you get to kind of get that whole like college academic setting vibe, and you get to investigate a murder. So it's always exciting. Usually my go-to tends to be thriller or mystery, just because they're short, they're fast-paced, and every chapter leaves you wanting more. And that's kind of what you're looking for when you're getting into reading for the first time. All right, we are speeding along. Now, some of you out there may be thinking, oh, I should really give the classics a shot. There must be like a start here type of a book to reading. And no, this is not like, I don't know, other hobbies that you may have encountered, like I guess hiking. Not really, honestly. As long as it serves what you're looking for, then go with it, my friends. Follow your heart. All right, so I have a few classics. So the first suggestion is short stories by Edgar Allan Poe. And many people like forget that he wrote other things other than poetry. And let me tell you, this is where he shines, okay? You may have heard of The Telltale Heart. Excellent short story, by the way. It still to this day terrifies me, but that's Poe for you. And all of these short stories are less than 40 pages, by the way. So you can easily get through them in an afternoon, in an evening, if you will. In fact, I think I just purchased this copy of The Murders in Rue Morgue, so I'm really excited about it. But you're looking for short novels, essentially, you know, to kind of get that momentum going. That's the word. I'm a big fan of Agatha Christie's, who does a lot of whodunit murders. I think she was one of the OG people who started it, the whole mystery genre, if you will. And I personally really like And Then There Were None. Again, also a super short book. The Portrait of Dorian Gray is a creepy one, and it may not be the best classic to start off with, but you know what? If creepy is what your vibe is, then Portrait of Dorian Gray is the way to go, I think. Read the synopsis, make sure that, like, you know, no triggers are being, you know, what is it, tripped? I don't know what the word is there. And then lastly, White Nights. Oh my God. White Nights is the classic version of a rom-com, okay? Except it's about unrequited love. There is kind of a happy ending, so keep that in mind. But it is awesome. It is so awesome that I did buy myself a copy. And this is like the thickness. Like, this is how thick this story is. I believe it's less than 100 pages. I think it's 88 pages to be exact. And so it's awesome. I hope to never part with it, really. And it's right there. So short, so sweet, right? We're gonna move on to the funnies next. These are also fairly short. I really try to emphasize the length of it, because I don't want you guys going into this like honker of a book, you know, if it's like your first time getting into reading. Like, it's just, you're setting yourself up for failure. Although, so excited about this book. More on that in a different video for sure. So I want you to be kind of set up for success, churn through some, and gather that momentum, really, you know, and then you can kind of move on to more curated books for your taste as you develop your taste some more, you see. So anyway, my first recommendation is the Murderbot series, which I believe I have it here somewhere. Is this it? Yes! So you can see I've tapped pretty liberally here. This looks thick, but it's not. There's 2 stories in this, okay? There's All Systems Red, which is the first book, and then Artificial Condition, which is the second book. So you have 2 books in one, and I believe each one is about 150 pages long. Super short, super easy. It's about a robot, which calls itself a Murderbot. It's so cute. And all it wants to do is watch hours and hours of TV shows. But us humans keep getting in the way of that. So there's that. And it's adorable. It's hilarious. It's great. Hollow Kingdom, which another short book, and it is a bit of a dystopian. So for those fans of Hunger Games, this might be up your alley, except it's very funny. It is not, there's no children dying at all. There's no real race. Well, I guess there is a race to survive, but it's not like a contest like Hunger Games. I take that back. It is nothing like Hunger Games at all, actually, come to think of it. But you know what? It's funny. The main character is a crow and is named ST, and I suggest that you read the book to find out what ST stands for. It's worth it, I tell you. Bake Swiss is another hilarious book. I read this in tandem, so I had it on audiobook and on my Kindle, and it was just fantastic. It is about this lady who is the transcriptionist for the local psychologist, and she's listening to this woman's session with the psychologist as she's transcribing it, and then she learns that her new roommate is this lady. So there's a lot of antics that kind of ensue from that premise, and it's amazing, basically. Anything by Terry Pratchett is going to be great. He was associated with Neil Gaiman. We're really not going to go into that because that's Neil Gaiman, terrible human. But anyway, Terry's not terrible. Terry is a beautiful person who passed away untimely, but man, what a gem he's given us. So this is just my copy of Mort. But he's written many other books that are short, and as you can see, like, this is very short as well. And like the print is like super big, and it's like half the size of like a real book. Like, so this is Murderbot. There it is. So such big margins, thick margins still. So it's worth it, I think. All right. And all of my video game people out there, if video games are what you really truly like, or maybe you play Dungeons and Dragons, this book series is for you. It's called Dungeon Crawler Carl. I wouldn't even read the synopsis. I would just go head first into it. In fact, it is so popular right now. Like, Matt Dinniman gets pretty much an entire shelf in any bookstore that I've ever been to right now. I'm pretty sure it's going to get turned into a movie or something. I know for a fact that Murderbot is definitely getting an Apple TV something or other. So this might be worth it, is all I'm saying. All right. And it's a pretty long series too. So like, if you like it, it's worth it to like commit to this one, and you'll have like a good amount of books to churn through before you have to really think about other recommendations, you know. So that might be really something that you're looking for. And then more rom-coms. I put in Hype Train here. Just, we'll get there. It's down here. You see it already. But anyway, A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is really, it has been hyped up. But if that's your cup of tea, then that's your cup of tea. Like, go for it, right? And that's a pretty long series to begin with as well. Checkmate is I just recently read it. It was one of my favorite rom-coms. Basically, it's essentially a romance, but it doesn't really get into the nitty-gritty details. Everything gets tied up in a neat, nice bow at the end. There's many happy endings to be had all around. And it all kind of finishes within, I want to say, 250 to 300 pages. Fantastic. Way back when I started reading, these two, Hex Hall especially was one of my favorites. It's hilarious to begin with. It's about this witch who like figures out that she's a witch and then has to go to school for it. But she's the most sarcastic teenager that you'll ever meet, which doesn't say much because all of them are sarcastic, but trust me, this is a good one, okay? And then the Secret Society Girl, this is like some lore that you're getting right now. But Secret Society Girl doesn't get enough attention, in my opinion. But it's based in Yale. However, she doesn't call it Yale. She calls it something else just to, I don't know, be mysterious, I guess. But anyway, it's about this girl who gets inducted into Yale Secret Society. Probably the Skull and Bones, but she doesn't really, specify it, that it is that. However, it's so great. There's multiple love interests. You're basically thrown into this collegiate atmosphere with all the other elite members of society, I suppose. And our main character is a very, just socially middle class individual who doesn't really have the privilege of having money, but just got into a very prestigious school like Yale, based on her merit. So she's smart, and she just gets up to a lot of crazy antics, and it's lovely. So these both are kind of old recommendations, but they're so near and dear to my heart, and they're just so nostalgic. So give them a shot. Tell me what you think. Now this one's super new, and it might be also getting some form of an adaptation. I'm not sure. But basically this is the cozy atmosphere that anyone is looking for. I'm not going to say a lot on this, unless you've already, I'm sure it's everywhere, this book. It's so popular. But basically it's everything and then some, and it's legitimately just a blanket. Okay. It's a cozy blanket of a story, and it's about the social worker who finds a new family when he goes to this house in the Cerulean Sea to take care of these children with magical abilities. And then all the things that ensue with that. And then of course, if you're ever thinking that, hey man, I really wish that I could have read Harry Potter, or that I could be one of those nerds who are into Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, well, guess what? Okay, you can still read them. All right. The books don't age. Well, they age, but a good book is a good book no matter when you get to it. Okay. So if it's now, then go get to it. All right. And it's worth it. Honestly, they're two of my favorite series, 100% worth it. And then last, these are the bonus round. Okay. This is what I actually believe you should start off with. The others were kind of an appetizer, but let me tell you, this is the real list, okay? And it's mainly suspense. That's what's going to get you into reading, all right? And if these don't, honestly, I have failed you, and you might as well not even subscribe to this channel at this point, because I don't deserve to even speak on this hobby. Anyway, so the first one on this list is Verity. And let me tell you, if crack were in book form, it is this book. I don't know what Coho puts in this book in its pages. However, I could not stop reading it. Okay, I had a library card, or a library book, I believe, that I read. It was on my Kindle, and I was traveling at the time. And my God, I ate it up in one day. In one day, I ate it up. And this is while traveling places, okay? So, it wasn't even like I had the day to myself or something. But I don't want to give too much away. It's suspenseful for sure. It's gripping. And, the story just starts, from page 1. I've recommended it to many people, and they've all been like, oh my God, what is this? It is now getting turned into a movie, I believe, with Anne Hathaway. So get on that, all right? The next one is Scythe. It's a dystopian novel where, we've cured death. Death is no longer an issue. However, overpopulation of the earth is. So there's this faction of people who are known as Scythes, and they go around basically killing people, but it's government sanctioned, so they act as death. And it brings up a lot of questions, and it's written really well, especially the first book, and it's really thought-provoking and definitely a nail-biter, for sure. Now, the third one, Project Hail Mary, again, is a banger. I have missed an entire flight because of this book. I was just sitting there and just being like, oh, one more chapter. And then before I knew it, they closed the doors. I sound stupid saying this, but trust me, this is the book, okay, that makes you do these things. So read responsibly, but this is worth it. It is also getting made into a movie, by the way, with Ryan Gosling. If you guys have ever seen The Martian, also by the same author. So this is the same caliber of story that you're getting. And trust me, it's going to blow your socks off. I don't even want to tell you anything about it because just go pick it up. That's it. That's all I have for you. And then lastly, the original by Mary Robinette Cole and Brandon Sanderson. I can't say any of their names today. Anyway, this is an audiobook only, I believe. And the audiobook is about 3 or 4 hours long. Trust me, if you have to drive anywhere, this is it. This is the book that you're going to listen to, okay? It's worth it. It's worth every minute that you spend on it. And I already know there's going to be some troll out there who's going to be like, but you said these are reading recommendations, but now you're giving me an audiobook. Trust me, okay? No, this is worth it, okay? And audiobooks is reading. Honestly, I'm very all-encompassing that way, okay? There's no walls to our hobbies. There's no bars here. We choose what we want to do with our reading, okay? So remember, keep it short, keep it gripping, and most of all, do what feels right to you, okay? Like, go read what you want, all right? Please read responsibly, and good night, everybody.